Hey everyone, I'm Heathen Beauty. I know you're probably a little bit confused right now, wondering why it is you're staring at a pair of hands instead of a face right now, but I'll get into that explanation in a few minutes. First of all, let me start off with why it is I'm starting this channel. The word heathen. It basically defines anyone who doesn't adhere to a widely held religion, particularly those of Abrahamic descent, like Christianity, Muslim, or Jewish. It is also a term that can be used for anyone who goes against the norm, like me. The purpose of this channel is to explore the extremely varied subject of paganism through the medium of cosmetics. I know, if I'm doing cosmetics, why isn't my face in the camera? Well, my channel is going to be a little bit different when it comes to covering the beauty aspect in each video. Unlike 99% of the beauty community, I will not be using my own face to complete the looks I do in each video. There are a couple reasons for this, but first let me preface everything with this. 1, I am not a trained makeup artist, by any means or measure. Everything I'm going to be doing is from the self-taught perspective and from techniques I've picked up along the way from watching other makeup artists and beauty gurus. This means my skills will likely evolve and improve with time, as I rarely wear cosmetics myself. I tend to have an extremely sensitive skin, and finding cosmetics or finding products that don't aggravate my skin or my eyes or anything can be a little bit tricky for me. So, given the subject matter of paganism, which I will be getting into on this channel, and being that it is a subject that is very ethnically and culturally diverse, I am going to be using cosmetic practice heads in order to complete the looks. I have one light, one dark, and one medium. This allows me the flexibility of not only being culturally sensitive regarding the subject matter, but it also is going to allow me to have a bit more flexibility with what I'm doing. For instance, I am not a person who would use glitter on my face or anywhere near my eyes by any means or measure, because they don't tend to be eye safe and I don't feel comfortable with having it anywhere near my eyes where it could get in and cause any problems. This allows me to just have fun with it, not just develop my own skills and develop my own, I guess, inspired looks based on the subjects I'll be covering, but also be able to have the flexibility of just being able to do what I want. If I want to alter the skin tone of the mannequin heads, I can do that with foundation, so I can cover a more diverse spectrum. I don't have to worry about matching foundation shades to the skin or anything of that nature, and I am not in any way, make, shape, or form about to do any form of blackface or racial mimicry. That is not my MO. That is not who I am or anything I am about to do. I am far too respectful of people for that. Also keep in mind, my channel is not a review channel. If you are looking for that, that's not here. There are tons of channels that you can go to for reviews of products. I mean, you can find them everywhere on YouTube. anything that I have that I'm going to be using, any palettes, any brushes, any products, I have bought with my own money. I don't ever anticipate that I am going to be on any PR lists by any nature. If anything like that changes for me down the line, I will of course adhere to FTC regulations and proclaim that should I use products of that nature. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm literally not using my face. I'm literally using mannequin cosmetic practice heads that are generally used to practice lacing lashes and brows. I mean, I don't see it happening. Anyway, my palettes pretty much are a range. I mean, I have inexpensive ones I got from NYX. Not NYX. Ulta Beauty. You can tell I'm tired. I also have more expensive ones that I got from Ulta. I also got some ColourPop. There's only one palette that I have that is unbranded. If you go on Amazon, you can find it. It's under the name Gaga, but it is not in any way, make, shape, or form affiliated with Lady Gaga by any means. And when it comes time to use it, I'll show it to you. The only reason why I got it is because I had a wide range of colors for inexpensive, because right now a girl is on a budget. But I'll always show you what they are, and I will always try to link what they are below. So if that you ever see something that I'm using that you want to use, you know what it is and where to find it. Also, I plan on fully using the palettes to the fullest extent, not just for economic reasons, but environmental reasons as well. So you will see the same palettes over and over and over and over again, but I want to do that for a couple reasons beyond the economic and environmental reasons, of course. But that's real life, isn't it? It's reality. We don't buy a palette or a product and use it once and throw it away. We want to see what we can do with it. We want to get as many diverse looks and as many creative outlet possibilities with it as we can. So I'm going to go for that. Also, there's another reason why I'm not using my own face beyond the racial diversity that is covered in this subject matter. I want to try to stay as anonymous as I can. I don't know if you've been on social media lately. I don't know if you've been checking things out, but man, some people are a little bit out there. It's become a society of you have the smallest thing that somebody disagrees with and they will hunt you down and try to dox you. Then you have people who, my heart broke for Bretman Rock when he was going to his father's funeral, and self-proclaimed fans decided to crash the funeral and invite themselves. Then you have people like James Charles who have fans regularly show up at his door. Well, I don't really want that. As much as I'm going to love interacting with you guys, and as much as I want to be able to get to know you to some extent, right now I am not in the position or comfort level of revealing my identity. That may change down the line. I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but at least for right now, that's my reality. Not just because of what I mentioned with fans and things like that, but paganism is a subject that you have a lot of people with misinformation and views against. I can tell you from personal experience, when I came out of the broom closet, as it were, it's often termed that way for people in specific pagan paths when they find that they are comfortable with that path and they start outing themselves and telling people. When I did that myself, I received death threats. And I had people that I considered friends, good friends, telling me to burn in hell or that I deserved to. And quite honestly, I would like to minimize that in my day-to-day life as much as possible. Thankfully, I do have a smaller group of friends now who knew that even when I found my personal path in life in paganism, that it didn't change who I was. That I was still the same person they always knew. It was just I finally found where I felt I was at home, which was something I had been searching for a very long time. I grew up Catholic. I never felt at home in the Catholic faith or at home in the church, and I still remember when I was a child some of the doctrine and things that we would be taught. I remember sitting there and going, but that's not the way it is, though. I never voiced it because I didn't want to get in trouble, but, when I became of age and all of the abuse allegations started coming to light from the church and everything of that nature, I couldn't in any way, make, shape, or form be affiliated with that from my own personal standpoint. Because I'm very protective of children and I'm very protective of animals and the environment, but, especially kids, for personal reasons, they can't defend themselves. And they need people who they can trust and people who will advocate for them. And when religious leadership wasn't going to do that and be that shelter from the storm necessarily for them, I just couldn't affiliate with it. And I spent many years trying to find my path in life, trying to find where I felt spiritually connected to and drawn to, and I finally found that in paganism. Please keep in mind that my channel, I am delving into the subject of paganism from an educational and historical standpoint. I am in no way seeking to convert anybody, try to manipulate anybody into changing their viewpoints or anything of that nature. All I am trying to do is educate people on the multitude of world spiritualities and religions that are all considered to be pagan under the pagan umbrella. Pagans aren't necessarily the hippie New Agers dancing naked under the moonlight. There are so many recognized world religions and spiritualities that are considered to be pagan because they're not of Abrahamic descent. I mean, when you get down to it, roughly 1/3 of the world's population is pagan. I know, I couldn't believe it either when I was starting to research all this kind of stuff. When I first started to delve into it, I knew it was more than I thought it was, but I never anticipated it was that many. I really didn't. Um, 1 second. Oh, also in regards to the channel, I am not delving into spell work, ritual work, or application of any of the information I will be sharing here. And I'm not doing that for very specific reasons. I guess you could say I'm kind of old school. When I first found myself in the pagan faith, I took it upon myself to educate myself as to the proper way to do things, so I didn't do anything that could be potentially harmful to myself or others. And I don't want anybody viewing this channel just arbitrarily deciding, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and just try to do something willy-nilly when they don't have the proper education or information to necessarily do that. I am considering starting a Patreon if anybody wants to learn that kind of thing. If that is something you're interested in, please leave a comment down below and I will start working on that so that it can be as informative and educational as possible. As an eclectic pagan witch myself, I often incorporate various pagan traditions in my own craft and in my own practice. Because of that, whenever I've been intuitively guided to incorporate something that I may not be well versed on, I've always taken it upon myself to research the information and research that aspect to be as respectful and conscientious of cultural traditions and perspectives as possible. I'm not an expert in all things pagan. Personally, I don't think there is an actual expert in anything in the world, because information is always changing, things are always evolving, perspectives are always evolving. As time continues on, technology advancements come in, we find maybe things that previously we believed were true are not true anymore. Life and information is an ever-evolving thing. But as I go through things, and I will show you a diagram right now, I can't remember the website I got it from right now. Actually, you know what? I might be able to. Let me scroll right down. Always save your links if you're ever doing a YouTube channel or anything of that nature. Always save the links where you get things from. And yes, of course, I clicked on the wrong freaking link. Let's see. That one? Yes, good. Universal Life Church is where I got this diagram. Let me just make sure it's properly. This isn't the only one you can find on the internet. You can find it from other places. Please ignore my computer, it needs an update. But this diagram very strongly correlated with another one that I found, where it takes you through the historical evolution of world religions as we know them to be today. And that's kind of where I'll be starting from. I'll be starting from the earliest known aspect of world religion and going through its evolutionary process. At least initially. When I get to the aspects that we have more information from, I will be jumping around a bit. So, to try to explain why that is from the historical aspect, we don't have as much information from world religion that in beliefs that occurred 100,000 BC. Unfortunately, either through time or, and this is not bashing the Christians or Christianity, it's unfortunately just the way it is with the rampant spread of Christianity and monotheism. A lot of pagan relics and information and just historically beneficial information to have got lost and destroyed. And because of that, when I'm going through the earlier section, there may not be as much information that I can find regarding the different forms of animism or shamanism. So initially I'm going to be starting with the oldest information I can find and working my way up. And as I get to the points where we have more and more information on it, that's when I'll begin jumping around, and I plan to cover one aspect of a subject per week, split into 5 parts. That way I'm not having you sit here for 2.5 hours wondering when it's gonna end like it's some classroom setting, because that's not what this is for. This is just for people who might be interested in the information, and I want to share that with you. Please do know, because of the subject, because the internet is what the internet is, any harassment will be deleted and users will be banned. Sorry, it's my channel, my rules. I will always welcome respectful, emphasis on the word respectful, constructive criticism and feedback. They're always welcome. I always am happy to hear any information or feedback you may have, as long as it's, again, respectful. Please know that there will be certain aspects, pagan paths, that I may have misinformation on. I may not always be able to find correct information on them because some of them can be very secretive. I will do my best, but because some of them are so secretive, I may not be able to find a practitioner with which to confirm things with. So if anyone viewing these videos happens to be a practitioner of those areas and I am wrong on anything, please know that 1, it is by no way, make, shape, or form intentional, and 2, I welcome you putting corrected information in the comments down below. Please feel free to do that. If need be, I may try to redo the video with corrected information at another time. But, no one's perfect. I'm certainly not gonna be. I know that. I don't expect it of anybody else. Know that there are no two pagans who are identical in the world. Things that I may say may correlate personally with my beliefs and my perspectives on certain aspects, but they won't necessarily correlate with those of other pagans. And again, if you disagree with my perspective, I fully respect your right to have a different perspective than mine. I do. Just like I ask for the same in kind. But if you come at me with nastiness, be prepared, because I might come back at you with the same nastiness and keep the same energy. Now, with all of this information said, I welcome you and I thank you for your support. If this channel, if this subject matter seems like something you're interested in and you think you might like my content, please hit subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I post. Like this video and or comment below. I will also link below all my social medias. Please feel free to follow there, especially if you are on Twitter. I'm very active there. And if you hit all notifications on my Twitter account linked with this channel, you will of course be notified through Twitter whenever I upload. All of that said, thank you. I hope we become fast friends. Blessed be, and brightest blessings to you all.